When it comes to blood pressure and diabetes, actually what really works like magic is not eating anything out of a packet. I always say this, jitna packet khulta hai, utna pet fulta hai. The more you eat out of packets, the bigger you're going to get. For everyone who wants to lose weight, I do want to say this to you, that do not lose weight at the cost of good health, at the cost of good sense, at the cost of good humor. This is, I think, in terms of pandemics, probably just the beginning that we have seen, and we've all seen it up close and personal, what it means to be thin at the cost of losing out on our health. So when you lose weight, make sure that you're only losing weight because you've gotten healthier and fitter, and not that you're just kaisa bhi karke losing weight no matter what happens to your health. So first things first, adopt a more sustainable diet. Be on a diet in 2021 that you can be on even in 2031 and 2051. That's how you need to be thinking about your diets. It has to be a diet that you can do even in 2051. It has to be a diet that your children can adopt. It has to be a diet that is good for your parents. It has to be a diet which allows you to really come together as a community, to celebrate your festivals. It has to be a diet which also has therapeutic properties and allows you to get over all of these minor cold, coughs, flus, headaches and stuff like that that can happen in life. So in 2021, local, seasonal, traditional food and sustainability needs to be at the core of every food decision that you make. When you adopt exercise, make sure that your exercise is also something which is adaptable. It isn't something which comes to an end just because the gyms are closed or the swimming pools are no longer functional. So, take up yoga, learn to exercise more at home, learn the importance of activity. Don't just sit at home, don't just go Netflixing or Amazoning or Hotstarring or whatever. Move your bodies. For every 30 minutes of sitting, stand at least for 3 minutes. Look for opportunities to work at home so that you are staying active. And thirdly, very, very importantly, in 2021, know how politics and policies affect our health. So ask for governments to provide good quality air. Ask for governments to provide safe walking footpaths and cycling lanes, because that is something where you can actually be on your own without really mixing up with too many people. Ask and vote for governments which say that we will give you more green open spaces and safe avenues to go run and cycle for your children. So really rethink everything. Rethink your diet, make it more sustainable. Rethink your exercise, let it be much more adaptable, where you can just exercise in your home and in a safe environment in your society and in your city. And get governments who put fresh air, green open spaces and safe walking areas in your city and town as a priority. So really look at sustainability, look at your health in the long term, and don't just make it about how quickly can I lose weight. Think about how can I lose weight and stay healthy forever. When it comes to breakfast, lunch and dinner, I think the time-tested varieties is what fits the requirement of today just perfectly well, whether it is boosting our immunity or keeping our waistline small, or wanting good hair and skin, or wanting more results from our exercise. So I think for breakfast, either poha, upma, idli, dosa, paratha, dalia, milk, those kind of options are really good. For lunch, you can do your regular roti, sabzi, dal, chawal, but let it be a sabzi of the season. Let it be a dal which is which is not just moong or arhar, because India has more than 65,000 varieties of dals and pulses. So at least we need to have a portfolio of 10 or 15 diverse dals that we are eating throughout the month. And same goes for dinner. I think for dinner, something really light. I mean, I personally prefer rice for dinner because it's easy to digest, it's easy to cook, you know, especially for women who are now working from home and working at home. Cooking a largest dinner is unreasonable, it's too time consuming. But if you just made like a khichdi, moong dal khichdi, I think that is something that works perfectly fine. That is also most of my celebs, be it Alia or Kareena, that is typically what their dinner is. I would also very much like to use your platform to say that men need to start cooking. We cannot possibly go into a new COVID world or the post-COVID arena where men think it's a joke to say I can only cook an omelette or I can only make chai. You know, it's not funny that you're so poorly skilled because you're eating every day, so you might as well learn to cook every day. And if not every day, at least 3 days of a week, you know, the basic, at least the dal chawal, a khichdi, a man should be able to safely cook without needing directions in the kitchen, and should be able to prep for that cook, complete the act of cooking, and also clean up after, because only then are you a useful resource at home. When it comes to blood pressure and diabetes, actually what really works like magic is not eating anything out of a packet. I always say this, jitna packet khulta hai, utna pet fulta hai. The more you eat out of packets, the bigger you're going to get. And it is invariably when you eat packets, when you eat out of packets, that you also land up consuming excess amounts of salt and sugar. So whether it's a Tetra Pak juice, whether it's a breakfast cereal, whether it is a chip, a cook, whether it's chips, cookies, chocolates, you know, the more you open packets, the poorer your diets get, the poorer your health gets, the worse you begin to look. So eat more at home, make 30 minutes of exercise a part of your life, no matter what, get in those 30 minutes so that your body actually begins to function at its optimum. You're metabolically then functioning at your optimum. And get to bed on time. Don't spend too much time on your gadgets. You know, we are especially prone to spending a lot of time towards the end of our day on a gadget. So don't take your phone to the bed. Make your bedroom gadget free. Don't, you know, just take yourself and go to bed. Don't go with your phone. So if whether it is diabetes or it is BP, if people just follow commonsensical rules, they're fine. Otherwise, you know, constantly you will have like magical cures for both these things. Bas ye karo, bas wo wala smoothie karo, ye wala powder karo, or whatever else that it is. But common sense done every day, that is what works. Well, I just feel that any diet that tells you to eat certain things only because there are certain molecules in that food is a diet that you need to look at with apprehension. You know, we are a society which has lived together in harmony with diversities. You know, we are all a set of diverse people. We speak so many different languages. We even just cook our dal in 1,000 different varieties, but we've been cohesive because we have never looked at food from the point of view of carbohydrate, protein and fat. A diet which has a name, a diet which tells you to eat food based on whether it has carb, protein or fat, a diet which tells you to eat only this much and not that much, which doesn't allow you to celebrate festivals, which tells you that if you've celebrated festival, you've somehow cheated on your meal plan and stuff, is a diet that is not worth your time. If you're looking at sustainability, then you're talking about adopting a lifestyle that you can live with even in 2051 and not just in 2021, which means that it should also be a lifestyle or a diet which allows you to live within your ecological means. So you cannot be eating just endless amounts of one kind of food group and rejecting another kind of food group just because it's not the rage of 2020 or 2021. So if a diet has a name, don't follow it. Also also when people reject foods just because they have when people begin to eat food based on whether इसमें protein है या carbohydrate है, I feel that is also when we begin to have a more divisive society where you decide who to work with, who to strike friendships with, who to marry, who to eat a meal with based on things like caste and community and creed and stuff like that. So just like we all stand united in the face of racism, sexism and ageism, we should also stand united in the face of nutritionism, which is about looking at food just from the point of view of nutrients, because the only people who benefit from nutritionism is the food industry. As people, as societies, we suffer when we look at food from the point of view of nutritionism. We suffer when there is ageism, sexism, racism at play. So when we also suffer when there is nutritionism at play. When it comes to pregnancy, I think the most basic commonsensical principles of staying active, staying fit, keeping up with your exercise program, ensuring that you're getting good rest, a nap in the afternoon, and early bedtime, that is something that works perfectly fine. Including millets in your diet like the jawar, nachni, bajra, that is something which is very important. Including homemade chutneys like the kadi patta chutney, peanut chutney, til chutney, that is something that really helps because it's a good source of micronutrients, especially of minerals. It adds spice to the main meal that you're eating, and it reduces food cravings of wanting to eat something chatpata, which is then invariably some junk food that you will end up eating. Homemade murambas like the avla muramba is also something which is very useful. And make sure that you're eating your dahi, your chas, your nimbu sharbat, so that you're well hydrated and not feeling bloated or dull in your bodies.
From breaking news, detailed analysis, in-depth interviews and explainers, follow the Times of India. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like our videos and hit the bell icon to stay updated with the latest.